Harry Carey with Steve Stone and Wayne Larrivee as we go down to the bottom of the seventh.
Toby Borland coming into the game.
Toby Borland.
And he's given up 6 home runs in 32 and a third innings. Record good 3-1. ERA high at 4.73, and he's a side wheeler.
Tomorrow's an open date, but Friday, Montreal will be here. Henry Rodriguez of Montreal leads the National League with 21 home runs. And Sammy Sosa is now up to 19. So Hernandez gets a base on ball.
Scott Bullitt, who was just activated when Ray Sanchez went on the DL, now getting a look. And remember, when a left-hander starts against the Cubs, the bench of Jim Riggleman gets a lot stronger because you've got Magadan and Gonzalez to come off the bench against the right-handed relievers. So a couple of pretty good left-handed sticks, along with Brett Barbary, a switch hitter. So there's a very balanced bench for Jim Riggleman.
Scott Bullitt pitch hitting. A runner at first, nobody out. Inside. 1 ball, no strikes. The makings of a good inning here. If Bullitt could do something. McRae, Sandberg, and Grace coming up next.
Left-handers usually get a very good look at Borland.
A little bit outside, ball 2.
6 straight bad ones. And now Mickey Morandini coming in to have a talk with him. Jim Riggleman looking over his lineup card just to see if Jim Fregosi is going to make a change, and if he does, who he can go to.
Nobody out. 2 balls, no strikes. 6-4 Phillies lead. Bright sunshine, beautiful day. Strike call.
Kirk Wendell loosening up in the pen. A very good outing for Terry Adams.
Two balls and a strike. Base hit! In the right field, around second base, racing for third. And runners at first and third, nobody out. Hernandez went from first to third on Bullitt, single to right.
If you're a sidearmer, left-handers are going to see that ball all the way. And right-handers have some problems with Borland. But he walked the right-hander, gave up the base hit, and now runners at the corners. A low fastball. Scott Bullitt, a good low fastball hitter. And he makes a triumphant return after leaving to a cracked rib.
Borland stands 6'6". He's out of Quitman, Louisiana. Runners first and third. Hey, base hit! Now it's a 6-5 ball game. Runners at first and third. On the first pitch, McRae lined a single to right. And the Cubs trailing only by a run with nobody out.
RBI number 20, hit and run. Another low fastball and another fine swing. So the Cubs have shocked Borland, who's come in just in time as far as they're concerned. Here comes Jim Fregosi. He might have seen just about enough of Mr. Borland at this point, with runners at the corners and nobody out. And the Cubs moving to the heart of the order. That's going to be it for Borland.
That's going to be all for Borland. And we'll tell you more about the new pitcher coming in a moment. Harry Carey back in the ballpark, 6-5. The Cubs only 1 run back. Runners first and third and nobody out. Let's see who's got the hottest ticket in town. Hey! Abraham, our own chef. I'm going to have to call him up.
Russ Springer coming into the ball game, 1-4, 3.98 ERA. He's spanned 38 and 31 2/3 innings, but he has a tendency to get wild. He pitched an inning in yesterday's game, gave up a hit but no runs.
Sandberg homered his last time up. Takes a strike call. Rano now has hit 12 homers. Of his 42 hits, 20 of them for extra bases. There goes the runner up first. He's got a stolen base. His 19th of the year. No play.
Well, Springer just forgot about Brian McRae, who represents the go-ahead run, and he just trotted into second. That takes the double play out of order. Infield has to move back. They're going to concede the tying run.
A base hit puts the Cubs ahead. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. Ground ball. Here's a man trying to score. He saved. Boy, oh boy, and now they throw the ball away at third base. Both runs score. And the Cubs have taken the lead. Boy, oh boy. I tell you, there's what speed will do for you. The runner ran bullet on the contact. As soon as the ball was hit, he was streaking for the plate.
Watch it again on a great slide. Here comes Bullitt. Here comes the throw. He just gets the leg in ahead of the tag, and then Santiago trying to do some umpiring with Bruce Fleming, and because of that, he throws the ball away, and the Cubs go on top as the ball goes into left field. Margaret Sandberg very happy about that.
Boy, I tell you, Scott Bullitt's speed was electrifying. As Zeal picked the ball up, it looked like he might be out, but he just beat the throw and slid under the catcher.
Goes a fielder's choice, run batted in, air on Santiago, and after all that, the Cubs have the lead.
Here's Grace, the pitch, swung on. High fly ball. Sandberg tagging up, holds on though at second. One away. The Cubs lead 7-6. And here's Sosa. He's hit his 18th and then his 19th here today. There's a target they're holding for Sammy. Sammy with 43 runs batted in. Sandberg with 22. Sandberg with 12 homers. Second to Sammy Sosa with 19. Oh boy, he had a great cut at that. He just fouled it off. Crowd very, very excited. This ball game is turned around. Sandberg with his 27th and 28th runs batted in for the year, has 12 homers. He's on second base. There's a drive. Way back. Might be. It is. Holy cow. Holy cow. Look at Sammy. And is this crowd ever electrified? What an amazing line drive into the center field bleachers. And the Cubs have taken a commanding lead, hopefully. Look at the Philly dugout in contrast to the jubilant Chicago Cub dugout. Three home runs in succession, and he may still come up today in the 8th. Listen to the crowd. There's Sammy coming out to tip his cap. Boy, oh boy. He now has batted in 5 runs today. He now has 20 homers, 45 RBI. And the Cubs now lead 9-6.
Well, it's a hat trick. If this was hockey, that's 3 goals. So they're throwing hats out on the field. The baseball equivalent of the hat trick. A lot more rare, by the way. 3 home runs in 1 game. Cal Ripken did it earlier, and Sammy Sosa now does it today.
And he may still have a chance to make it 4 in the 8th inning. We don't want him to come up in the 9th. If he doesn't bat in the 9th, it means the Cubs will win the ball game. without any question. As it is, they're leading 9-6 right here. They once trailed 4-0. Then they trailed 6-2. They're still standing on the bleachers. Sammy, boy, I tell you, this last one was a line drive. I don't know which one was hit the hardest. I would bet on the third one.
Harry, the first one went 447 feet. Almost went to the second part of the bleachers up there.
Yeah, but it was a fly ball.
Oh, yeah, long fly ball.
He almost hit that target. Look at Sammy. Is he a happy young man? Ah, the dancing in the street, Sammy. They picked up all the hats and everything else has been thrown on the field. And now Leo Gomez with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Springer came in just in time to get on Grace and then throw a 2-run homer to Sosa. Sammy with 20 now for the year. And there will be a home run battle starting Friday night between Rodriguez and Sosa. Boy, Leo had a good cut at that, fouled it off. Watch it again now. Fastball by letter high, and look at it. 401 feet. Do you say happy feet? Yeah. Here's the pitch, foul out of play.
Very happy feet as far as Sammy's concerned. 3 home runs today. What a day for him. What a day for the Cubs if they come back and take the lead. Now it's up to the bullpen to hold it after a fine job by Terry Adams, and he's in line to record the win.
They're dancing in the streets in Puerto Rico. There's a pitch into the stands, foul. Wait a minute, I don't know whether, I think it's from the Dominican.
It's from the Dominican, Harry. I'm sure they're dancing in the streets in Puerto Rico, but also the Dominican Republic.
Arnie says the dancing in the street in Skokie too, everywhere. Certainly here at the ballpark. I don't know what this crowd is actually. There's another high foul ball out of play maybe. No, the wind keeps it in play and Jeffries grabs it. Gomez fouls to Jeffries. 2 gone.
Wind blowing out today, and this ball drifting back toward the field of play, and Jeffries able to stay with it and make the catch.
I don't know how big this crowd is, but they made enough noise on Sosa's home runs and Sandberg's home run to indicate there might have been 100,000 here, which we know is not possible, but that's the way it sounds. Timmons facing a right-hander for one of the few times. Russ Springer. The pitcher of record is Borland, who started this inning. Faced 3 men, they all got on. And he allowed, therefore, 2 hits, 3 runs in no innings pitched. He actually faced only 3 men. So Mulholland, who seemingly had a good lead earlier, cannot be the winner here today. Nor can he be the loser. Timmons goes out swinging. 5-run score. 3 hits. No errors, nobody left. At the end of the lucky 7th, the score, the Cubs 9, Phillies 6.
Does this make you want a Reese's? Oh, how about this? Okay, we'll stop. Just kidding. We're not gonna stop. Not sorry. Reese's.
As the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus?
People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room. You don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician.
We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Every weekday night, tune into the stadium.
Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred wants to play as many games as possible as soon as possible.
If this 2020 Cubs team wants to get back to where they were at 2016, I think David Ross is going to be the right guy to lead them there.
You're either going to get through this or you're going to grow through this. And I think it's a great chance for coaches, business people, everyone to get better at your personal craft.
Marquee Sports Network will bring you every sim game until real baseball returns.
The stadium, weeknights at 6:30 on Marquee Sports Network.
Harry Carey with Steve Stone and Wayne Larrivee. Boy, this game has really turned around from a couple of innings ago when they were leading 6-2 the Phillies. Now they trail 9-6. What a reception for Sammy Sosa when he took his position in right field. Here's a strike call by Turk Wendell, who's pitching. Scott Bullitt, who contributed a big base hit as a pinch hitter, now is playing left field, replacing Timmons. Strong, and he missed.
18,189 on hand today as Scott Bullitt stays in the ball game, and Turk Wendell looking for save number 4. A 4-1 record, a sparkling 2.35 ERA on for the 23rd time.
Boy, these are 18,000 plus hilariously happy, excitable fans. And what a day they picked to come to the ballpark. Sammy hitting 3 home runs and Rhino hitting 1. Team coming back from a 6-2 deficit to lead 9-6. By the way, did you see that gal, the left-handed pitcher, Pamela Davis, pitched for the Jacksonville Suns, Double-A club. Here's a slow roller. Picked up, throw to first. Nice play by Gomez. I tell you, Leo looks good defensively at third base. 1 out. Finally got Benjamin out.
Mark Whitten coming on to pinch hit. He started the first couple of games in the series. 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. He's at 7 home runs, driven in 21 overall.
This Pamela Davis, only 21 years old, 5'6", 135 pounds. A left-handed pitcher, pitched 1 inning, shut the team out last night. An Australian Olympic team. Whitten fouls the pitch back. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, Mark Whitten hit 4 home runs in 1 game against, well, a member of the Cardinals against Cincinnati 2 years ago. And Sammy has hit 3 already today, and they've come in succession. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung, and he missed. Clubbed hands Saturday. June 15th is Gatorade Keychain Day. Attend the Cubs Padres game, receive a Cubs keychain. Struck him out. Whitten goes out on strikes, 2 away.
Well, Turk tried the backdoor slider the pitch before, just missed the outside corner. This one splits the middle of the plate, and Mark Whitten was probably guessing ball.
Call of 831 Cubs, CUBS, to 831 Cubs for tickets to any Cub game. All right, here's little Ricky Otero. He's 1 out of 4. He's had 5 hits in the series. Wendell. Boy, he's done an outstanding job, and he's one of the leading pitchers in victories. He's won 4 and he's lost 1. Nobody's won more than 4 for the Cubs. There's a ground ball. Sandberg over to first. 1, 2, 3. Nothing across. Going to bottom of the 8th. Cubs lead 9-6.
I've been an injury attorney for almost 40 years, so I've seen firsthand how lives are changed in a single moment. And it makes you compassionate for those families who are the heart and soul of our community. Which is why I fund thousands of dollars every year to support our teachers, provide reading programs and after-school care for kids, food programs for the hungry, clothing and toys for needy children. When your life's goal has been to help those who've been seriously harmed by negligence, for me, it's just one more way to give back.
Unexpectedly, she had to do open heart surgery. It was definitely a tense time. It was good to just come here and feel a little normal and to get a nice hot meal and like a nice warm bed.
Helps you bring strength to your family.
No matter what's ahead, I know that Ronald McDonald House will be there for us. They're like family, so they'll take care of us.
I need new struts for my 2010 Chevy. Let me see struts by AC Delco, KYB, and any under $50.
We might be able to get some struts from the warehouse.
Why watch the counterman tap on his computer and hope he chooses the right part? Go to rockauto.com. Auto and body parts from hundreds of manufacturers. Choose the brands, prices, and features you want. Auto parts at the lowest price. Conveniently delivered to your home or business.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Deals bigger than Black Friday going on now at Overstock with over 1 million deals. Every category on sale, including furniture, rugs, decor, and so much more. And now, free shipping on everything. Overstock, where quality costs less.
Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Oh, hey, you're a funny-looking guy, you know it? Here is Scott Service will lead it off. Our good friend Mary Dempsey, along with her husband Phil Corboy, be here Friday to throw out a ceremonial first pitch. Representing St. Mary's University of Winona, Minnesota.
He's a pretty tough customer, Ricky Bottalico, who's the stopper, but who obviously needs an inning of work. Cubs haven't seen him in this series. They're happy they're not seeing him today in a save situation. Throws awfully hard, and he's got a great curveball. Got 14 saves, 34 strikeouts in 27 1/3 innings, and a 3.29 ERA.
2 balls, no strikes. High pop foul. Into the stands. Two balls and a strike. You know, Turk Wendell is the leading winner on the Cub staff, although he's a relief pitcher. No other pitcher's won 4 games. Wendell has won 4 and lost 1. He's also saved 3. Well, he's had a hand in 7 Cub victories. When you figure what the Cubs have won, that's a pretty good portion and ratio of their victories. 1 relief pitcher. Strike 3. Boy, he threw that one hard. Service. Ball out on strike. 1 out.
Well, Bottalico is the big difference in the Phillies this year. The fact that they've been able to stay afloat through all of their injuries. They've had good base running all year, good defense all year, and Ricky Bottalico has been saving games when he's had the opportunity.
Bottalico out of Connecticut. Big guy, 6'3". Hard thrower. 26 years old. Hernandez. Behind on the count. I don't think the rhythm system worked. The pitch a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Cubs lead in 6. He struck him out. Tried to check. 1 around. Hernandez struck out 3 times yesterday, twice today. But he won the game Monday with the bottom of the 9th home run. So you can excuse a few strikeouts. 2 out, nobody on. The looper bullet is easily retired. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'm glad he didn't hit that one in the 7th. At the end of the 8 innings, the score is Cubs 9, Phillies 6.
I am Robert Strickler. I've been involved in communications in the media for 45 years. I've been taking Prevagen on a regular basis for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Without Bernie's, majority of these students probably would not have any books at home.
The more that they're able to read and write and communicate with others, the more successful they're going to be getting a job, going to college, all those things we want for them in the future.
Having a book in your hand and, reading it and exploring is virtually impossible without Bernie's books.
Doug.
Give me your hand! I can save you! Lots of money with Liberty Mutual! We customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle. Looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
You're watching Cubs Classics presented by Prevagen. It's 1990s week. Let's get back to the action.
No balls, 2 strikes. Turk Wendell misses the outside corner. Terry Adams would be the pitcher of record if Wendell can pick up the save. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball. Grace has it. Gives it to Wendell, 1 away. Morandini retired.
Stay tuned after the ball game for the 10th inning featuring the GMC game highlights.
And after the ball game, I know you want to stick around for the 10th inning. Before that, Wayne Larrabee is going to be talking to Sammy Sosa. Sammy's out in right field now, but he'll be in the dugout later. Here's Jeffries. Boy, he's had 3 hits today, 4 hits yesterday. This is the first baseball he's played since last April. There's another line shot. Bullitt on the run. Nice play. That ball was hit hard, but Bullitt made a fine play running to his right. The Chrysler-Plymouth game summary is the story of Sammy Sosa, the 150th career home run in the fourth, the 20th two-home run game of his career, and then the first 3 home run game of his entire career. The story of Sammy Sosa, the pride of the Dominican Republic. And here is Inky. Wendell has retired 5 in a row. Terry Adams picked up 2 fine innings in relief. And would be the winning pitcher. His second victory of the year of Wendell can get this final out. 2 out, nobody on. Long and he foul tips of 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, this crowd on its feet now, better than 18,000. Who sounded like 60,000. Especially in that 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2-2. Inconvenient. Nothing out of 4. 4 out of 10 in the series, though. 2-2 pitch. High fly ball. McRae. Cubs win. Cubs win. And they have beaten the Phillies in the rubber game of the series 9-6. And boy, power made itself felt here today. That's why ball clubs want power in their lineup. Because with 1 swing of the bat, power will make up for a lot of singles and doubles even. And everybody congratulating themselves. And you are the psychic of the year.
Well, thanks, Harry. Just had a feeling on Sammy today. You know, he'd been struggling, that batting average down in the mid-230s. But he's the kind of guy, when he gets it going, he can hit 7, 8 home runs in a week. He hit his 3 today for the first time. Sammy now with prodigious RBI totals as well as home run totals. Sosa now has driven in 45 after the 5 RBI performance today. And a big comeback win for the Cubs, taking the series 2 out of 3. And what a day it was all the way around.
I should say, you talk about enjoying yourself at a ballpark. The Cubs fans certainly enjoyed this one. Rhino hit a home run, and you can't forget that. It seems like Sandberg always kinds of lights up the fuse. And then, of course, Sosa almost did it single-handedly with 3 home runs.
And Harry, don't forget the job of Terry Adams, because after Jamie Navarro had a rough time, Terry Adams came on and held him until the Cubs could come back.
All right, Wayne Larrabee is ready down on the field to talk to the hero of the day, Sammy Sosa.
Right. Thank you very much, Harry. I tell you, Sammy, your first career 3-homer game. How do you feel about it? That was quite an outing.
I just feel great. You know, I just so happy they came through, because, you know, they got a couple of running from, but, you know, we say ourselves that, you know, we know we can do it, and everybody, you know, and the dugout was so happy, pulling for each other. So I'm so happy to make it, and, you know, this is a kind of situation when I'm high, you know, so we never lose, you know, so you know, I just coming through, so I just, you know, hope that I just keep it going like that.
Well, there's your 3rd home run, another one to center field. Boy, I tell you, you got all of these shots.
Well, yeah, you know, so I just keep my head there, you know, trying to make good contact like I've been doing those, you know, type the day like that, you know, so that's when everything working with me, you know, and you know, not so happy they came through.
And there's the bow to the crowd. That had to be a great moment.
Believe, you know, so, you know, I love the people here in Chicago. They like me, you know, so I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy because I know I'm going to finish my career here.
What did you think when they started throwing the hats out of the field for the hat trick?
I was thinking about Henry Rodriguez over there in Montreal, you know, but like I say, you know, so I'm here in my town, and I'm happy to do it here because people love me here, and I'm making happy.
You've been a marvelous streak hitter through your career. Can you tell when you get up on a streak like this? I mean, right now, what's it like to be in the zone?
Well, yeah, you know, so like I say, confident myself, you know, just go out there every morning with Billy Whalen working, and I go to the video room, to see what happened. I know I got it. I just, got to be more confident for myself and just keep winning a little bit more game, because when I do that, I don't have, that many pressure myself.
Sammy, do you adjust your swing in any way, in any kind of respect, when you're in a good streak or a bad streak?
Well, yeah, like I say before, working hard with Billy Whalen every day, just keep me in the road, no matter, if I go 5 for 5 or 5 home run, whatever, I got to, still come by the next morning and working, just keep my throw working. So right now it's working. I hope that just keep it continue like that.
Well, Sammy, listen, congratulations on a marvelous day. The 150th career home run came in the 4th inning of today's game, and 3 homers in the ball game to lead the Cubs to victory. A big win for Chicago. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless everybody.
All right, Sammy Sosa, the Cubs. Let's send it back upstairs to Harry and Steve.
All right, Wayne, nice job. And by the way, when Sammy says that he wants the people in Chicago to like him, they love him. No doubt about that. There are 3 Budweiser plays of the game. First, Sammy Sosa hits his first home run of the day with a man on. That gets the Cubs started. That's the first runs they made. Then he hit this home run, which pulled him a little bit closer. Only 2 behind, 6-4. And then he won it all with this one, with a man on in the lucky 7th inning. And that is, or are, the Budweiser plays of the game.
That does it for this edition of Cubs Classics presented by Prevagen. Thanks for watching.
Hi there, and welcome to this latest edition of The Stadium, your source for Chicago sports. I'm Michael Kim. Thanks so much for watching. We are now just 24 hours away from the start of the 2020 NFL Draft. By now, many of you know that the Bears do not currently possess a first-round selection, so they will have to wait until Friday to join the party. But don't worry. They already had their first-round pick playing for them. Already, he's been in uniform and paying off big time. You see, Khalil Mack cost the team a total of 4 draft picks, including a first-round selection last year and this year, but by any metric, he has been worth it. 21 sacks in his 2 Pro Bowl seasons, while solidifying his standing as one of the best defensive players in the league. His level of play and production is what every team in the NFL is hopeful to find in their first-round pick. In addition to Mack, the Bears look to add more value from their trade with the Raiders through the second-round selection acquired in that deal. This is why Bears GM Ryan Pace is excited to hold a pair of picks in the first 50 overall selections of this year's draft.
When I think about the Khalil trade, obviously getting Mack was the priority, but getting that 2 back was really important for us. So having 2 twos, I keep on going back to it. That's big. And, I think no different than last year with the first pick being, David Montgomery. It puts it on us as evaluators and as scouts and coaches to maximize the draft picks we have. Fortunately, we have two twos, and it is a deep draft, and we just got to capitalize at that point.
As we shared with you yesterday here on the Stadium, recent draft history shows there is good talent available within the range of these picks. Now, who are some of the experts saying the Bears should take at number 43 and number 50? Well, here's an example from the Chicago Tribune, NFL.com, and Pro Football Focus, which has a local kid, tight end Cole Kmet, listed on their board. Despite an already crowded tight end room at Hallis Hall, the position continues to be a priority this offseason, even with the additions of Jimmy Graham and Demetrius Harris. That's why Cole Kmet could be walking through that door, and it sounds like the former St. Viator and Notre Dame star is all for it.
I've had quite a bit of contact with the Bears. I know that they're potentially in the market for a tight end in this draft. So, obviously that'd be really exciting for me as a hometown kid, being able to go and play there. That would just be a childhood dream come true. And, for me, the guys that I looked up to, I always loved Greg Olsen when he was on the Bears, and that was a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, a player that you just love watching as a football guy is Brian Urlacher. And that was a lot of fun. So especially the year they went to the Super Bowl. So just being a childhood dream of mine to play for the Bears, that would be awesome, and obviously really exciting if they decided to pick me on draft day.
The war room in Ryan Pace's house is ready to go. 7 screens are set up in his dining room to monitor the draft coverage. He can watch videos of college players if necessary. He can read scouting reports, and he can contact others in the Bears organization, other GMs, as well as agents and potential draft picks in an instant. But don't mind the mess. There's a ban on cleaning this weekend, and there's a good reason for this.
It's just being around your family. I mean, right now Carden's doing her at-home school, in one room over, so you can hear that. And the other day, I got this amazing setup, Dan, with all these screens, and Stephanie's vacuuming and hits the cord, and every screen goes black. So you're dealing with the at-home conditions. They boosted the bandwidth, and there's a cord now that runs directly from the router upstairs all the way down the stairs, all the way to the dining room. So it's just hopefully nobody trips over the cord or unplugs anything with the vacuum again.
I'm sure it's merely coincidence, as Mark Dominic joins us, that Bill Belichick sent a Roomba to every GM in the NFL as a gift for the draft. I don't know. There might be something to that. Mark Dominic, our Stadium NFL insider, joins us right now. Of course, that was the big story yesterday in the National Football League. A little bit of a shock as Rob Gronkowski comes out of retirement, and the Patriots then trade him down to the Buccaneers, involving some draft picks. But my question for you, Mark, has to do with the Bears, and how might the Bears possibly jump in and acquire either O.J. Howard or Cameron Brate, one of the tight ends now that may or may not be out of the picture down in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, certainly big news to have Gronkowski join Brady back down in Tampa. And when you look at their team and have watched this tape like I have, I don't think the Buccaneers will part with Cameron Brate whatsoever. The guy that's on the blocks is O.J. Howard. He's the one that I think they're willing to trade. He's the one that you could consider. But for me, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I'd rather get through this draft, because I think in the second round, there's a chance you're going to get a guy that might be more consistent. That's been O.J. Howard's problem, is he hasn't caught the ball consistently and has had really unfortunate drops. Now, we've seen Eric Ebron work through that before in his career and get to the other side, but we've also seen players that never have. So, yeah, I think of the 2 tight ends, O.J. Howard is the one that the Bears are probably having discussions with the Bucs over.
Yeah, we've been talking about Cole Kmet as a possibility inside that 43 to 50 range where the Bears currently have their draft picks. We also already know that the Bears appear to be set at quarterback. We know it's either going to be Nick Foles or Mitchell Trubisky as their starter for this upcoming season. But Ryan Pace is leaving the door open for the possibility that comes sometime this weekend, if a quarterback is high on their draft board and he's available, they may take him. Here's what Pace had to say.
We're always going to take Pat, the best player available. So if a quarterback was there and he was the highest guy on our board and in a strong way, we would consider that. I think we'd consider every position. Let's face it, the draft is risky enough. When you deviate from taking best player, I think you just increase your risk.
All right, that was Ryan Pace speaking with reporters yesterday. Mark, what do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think he's right. I think you've got to make sure that you stay true to your board. And that's what all this pre-draft process is, especially over the last month, making sure you have pieces in place for your team to sit there and say, hey, if you're in the 4th or 5th round and you like James Morgan out of FIU and he's highest on your board, you take him, because you do realize that these quarterbacks, they're both not going to coexist for a long time together. So you're going to want somebody else to grow into it. So I think it's smart to keep the board in play. And it sounds like that's what Ryan Pace is doing. I'd be doing the same thing.
Speaking of Trubisky, and Mark, I don't know if you saw this, he was non-committal regarding a question about picking up Trubisky's 5th-year option by the May 4th deadline. How do you interpret this?
Well, I would sit there and say that I think he's just trying to play it safe, play it coy. There's no reason to put it out there until it's May 4th. There's no reason to announce to anybody because, again, let's see how the draft plays out. Let's see how everything plays out for the Bears before you start to go do that. But I think if they don't draft a quarterback high for whatever reason, then I think they probably will exercise your option just because you've got to play it safe. And the only thing that has to happen is if Trubisky gets hurt long enough yeah, you could be on the hook for it. But imagine if Trubisky goes back to 2 years ago and you didn't exercise the fifth-year option. Now you're looking at the franchise tag, which is a much worse situation to be in, where you can still get away from that fifth-year option like the Bears did with Leonard Floyd.
Right. All right, 24 hours to go before the first pick is made in the 2020 NFL Draft. We'll see how it all plays out as far as this virtual format. But what are you hearing, Mark, talking to people around the NFL about security concerns, technology concerns, maybe even a trade out there in the bushes? What can you tell us?
You know, I think the main thing I've heard is that a lot of the general managers are nervous about trading in the later rounds because of the short time frame. And because of the difficulty of probably doing so, that's one thing. And the other thing that's now become really concerning for a lot of these teams is when the draft is over, how are you going to completely fill out the undrafted free agent list of players? So I think that part of it, which is usually chaotic when you have everybody together, maybe even more chaotic this time, I think, because you've got to make sure you limit what you're spending because you have a cap on what you can sign players after the draft. And you also want to make sure that you don't sign like 2 or 3 guys at just one position and allocate all your funds to one position. So there's going to be a lot of communication. It's probably going to be a lot more difficult, but still it's going to be an interesting thing to see who the Bears bring home, not just during the draft, but after the draft too.
All right, we'll have to talk about that come Monday as far as all the free agents and, of course, the full recap of the NFL Draft right here on the Stadium with our Stadium NFL insider, Mark Dominic. Great to catch up with you, Mark. Thank you.
Good to see you, Michael.
Big news today from women's college basketball. Hall of Fame coach Muffet McGraw is retiring as the head coach at Notre Dame. The 64-year-old McGraw led the Fighting Irish to 9 Final Four appearances and 2 national championships in 2001 and 2018. She won a total of 936 games during her 5 seasons at Lehigh and 33 in South Bend. She announced her retirement today, and her statement reads in part, "It has been my great honor to represent the University of Notre Dame these past 33 years, but the time has come for me to step down as your head basketball coach. I am grateful to have worked with the best assistant coaches in the business, and I have been blessed to coach so many phenomenal women. To the best fans in the country, it was my honor and privilege to play for you." Former Irish player, assistant, and assistant coach of the NBA's Memphis Grizzlies, Neil Ivey replaces McGraw as just the 4th women's basketball coach in Notre Dame history. Coming up, what are former Cubs players saying about Major League Baseball's proposed plan that reportedly would send teams to Arizona, Florida, and Texas to get the 2020 season underway? Cole Wright of Marquee Sports Network fills us in on the conversations next on the Stadium.
I've been with Nell now for 2.5 years, and I just feel like I am making a difference in her life. I know how much her family relies on me being there. It's about the bond that we form.
At Care.com, you can find the help your mom needs to stay independent at home. Search from lots of local caregivers who can help with meals, housekeeping, personal care, and more. It costs less than you think.
At 98 years old, she's enjoying her life.
Find the senior care help you need. Care.com.
At Domino's, we pride ourselves on handcrafted pizza. But after leaving our 450-degree ovens, the only hands that touch them are yours. Mix and match any 2 or more for just $5.99 each and get them with contactless delivery from Domino's.
Someday these will be the good old days.
You are watching Marquee Sports Network, presented by Advocate Aurora. Trade the waiting room for your family room. Schedule a video visit and stay home with our Live Well app.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Get to know where to place your next bet on Follow the Money on Marquee Sports Network. Vegas veterans Mitch Ross and Paulie Howard host this hour-long show, share their knowledge of sports and gambling.
The Cubs always take money, so it doesn't matter. Everyone would come to town and bet the Cubs win the World Series, no matter who was on the team.
Get the most up-to-date information in live odds, predictions, and betting trends from the sports gambling capital of the world. Follow the Money, live weekday mornings at 6 on Marquee Sports Network.
All right, we're back here on the stadium, and look who has joined us, our old friend Cole Wright, the host of Cubs 360 Daily right now on Marquee Sports Network. Hey, Cole, so first of all, I got to ask you, what's the topic that has everyone buzzing, everyone fired up right now on Cubs 360 Daily?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about that ultimate Cubs team, and should Ernie Banks, should he be a first baseman or should he be a shortstop? We know how dangerous he was, late 50s, all the way up until 1960 at the shortstop position. But, he did play more years at first base. If Ernie Banks isn't the number one guy, I talked with Len a little bit earlier, and he was saying, maybe Cap Anson, maybe Rogers Hornsby. I mean, there's a lot of Hall of Famers that have played for the Chicago Cubs.
Way back there.
Exactly. I mean, he's definitely a student of the game, and he's definitely going into his Ken Burns baseball bag of tricks. So I mean, that's one of the funnest things I always like to talk about. Anything that has historical value, especially when it comes to the game of baseball, I feel like it's second to none. So we've been kicking that around an awful lot.
Okay. By the way, who is your favorite Cub of all time?
Well, I have to say the best Cub of all time is clearly Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. But my favorite Cub is Andre Dawson. I mean, as a kid, I wore number 8 until I wore number 24. So that was the first number that I ever got to pick out was number 8. Yeah, Andre Dawson, that was my guy. And when he hit it over a fence,
that's a good
not
point.
only did he hit it over a fence, he hit it over a True Link fence. I don't even know if True Link fence is still in business, but if not, they should still just replay those commercials, just like the Victory Auto Record commercials. 710 East Green in Bensonville, near O'Hare.
Wow, man. You were watching very closely.
That old car's worth money, Kimmer. That old car's worth money.
Hey, let's talk about another topic I'm sure you guys have discussed, and certainly all around baseball. It has been a hot topic in that this proposed plan that CBS Sports came out with last week, where Arizona and Florida, we heard about that already. Now Texas apparently is in the mix. What's been the buzz among some of the former players that you've been talking with as far as their concerns and their thoughts so that we can get a 2020 season underway?
I haven't heard, directly from players, but, I heard, I saw some quotes from Anthony Rizzo saying that some of the plans don't seem as ironclad as they may look right now, because it's going to be tough to tell a guy like Chris Bryant, you have to be away from your newborn son and your wife. Now, maybe there's some kind of plan that will be enacted where, the families and the children can come, which would be best for everybody, because, I mean, even though at the end of the day, these guys are out there and they're playing baseball, which seems fun, and it is fun to everyone else, that's their job. And to be able to take a step back and come home and decompress and talk to your wife and, hug your child and do all the things that are, not required of you at the ball field. It's a little bit different. I think that escape, will make things a little bit easier for guys. So if they're able to, to put some of those plans in place and to get families in Texas, in Arizona, in Florida, or whatever, the state plan may be, I think that would be best for everybody. And the best thing for us right now would be to get baseball back. But, the worst thing for us would be to get baseball back and have everybody get sick all over again. So that's really not what you want. You want to make sure everything is safe and on the up and up before everything gets put in place.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope some of the experts that are in place, they have enough knowledge, and maybe within the next couple of weeks that they'll be able to figure something out. But yeah, absolutely. We need to get baseball back on the field, and can't wait. Now, also, I'm actually I'm a proponent for some of these changes, at least for this year, like designated hitters in both leagues, electronic strike zones, things like that. Where do you stand on that? Because I know you're a bit of an old school guy.
Well, at least for this year, I'd say anything that is gimmicky or that you wanted to test out, if it's going to be used, try it this year. I mean, I'm of the mindset that, everyone says the pitcher's clock and, all these different things to speed the game up, and the game takes too long. Well, you know what? If people can't, take a departure from everyday life and go to a ball game and say this game could be 2.5 hours if an efficient pitcher's on the mound, or it could be 4 hours. Back in the day, Greg Maddux will give you, or when I worked in Boston, Tim Wakefield will give you a 2-hour and 18-minute game,
Right.
and then the next day, Daisuke Matsuzaka would be on the hill, and it would be 4 hours and 18 minutes. So
Right.
if you don't go to the ballpark knowing that this game could take any amount of time, I'm here for it. That's fine. It is what it is, because where are you trying to go? I mean, if you go to a night game, I mean, do you have somewhere to be at,
Right.
at 11:15 at night?
Right.
I mean, just go watch the game, enjoy it, and take it for what it is. It's a fan experience. Enjoy it.
Given what we've been through here already, I would love an 8-hour game. I would sit through it gladly to watch baseball, right? I mean, take as much time as you want between pitches. Just get it on the field and let me watch it on TV, because, we miss it. All right, we discussed last time, we established that you're a local kid. You grew up, in Joliet and also in Naperville, right? And you're a proud alum of Waubonsie Valley, right? Led your team all the way to the state championship game there during your baseball career there. Yes, but you were also a basketball fan, and I know you, like so many of us, you're watching The Last Dance. When you hear the words Bulls Dynasty, what's the first thing you think of, Cole?
Childhood. I mean, that's what I remember. Like, I remember when they won their first one. I remember, running outside of my house. I ran outside for no good reason. I kind of got out there and realized that nobody else was there. So I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I think I'll just go back in the house and celebrate, with my parents, because, I mean, it was always a cause for celebration. And when they finally did get over that hump, and when they were able, to get that first one, I mean, I think, the biggest hurdle at first for that first championship was getting past the Pistons and getting to the NBA Finals at first. And I think once they got there, I mean, not to take anything away from the Lakers, but I think the Pistons at that point were, a tougher team, at least for the Bulls to beat. So that's when I think of that Bulls dynasty, when I think of all those teams, especially the first three, that's childhood.
Is there anything that you would see over the course of the next 8 episodes, 10 total, that you might change your mind about your fandom of Michael Jordan?
I mean, I don't think so. I think that, when you're in that pressure cooker, I think that, things aren't always as nice as people would want them to be. I mean, it's a professional sport. I mean, there's going to be some expletives thrown around. There's going to be some feelings that maybe get hurt. I mean, we saw Mike. He was the way he was talking to Ron Harper. He was talking to Ron Harper like he was, a guy off the street, playing on the playground. Exactly. So I think that what he was trying to do, whether it's whether it seemed as he was trying to get under the skin of another guy, all he was trying to do was make him better. And what did Michael Jordan do? Every time he was on the floor, he made everybody that was out there with him, he made them better. And he won championships. And last time I looked, he won 6 of them. And he won 6 finals MVPs. I don't think anyone's going to do that anytime soon. So to me, I don't think anyone's going to look at him like a bully. I think, at least for me, I look at him as a winner.
Another question I want to ask you about this, and you brought this up, is social media. What if social media like Twitter were around when the Bulls were in their dynasty years? I mean, do you think maybe the Chicago fans would have put so much pressure on Jerry Krause and the organization as a whole, and said, don't break this team up? I mean, you're winning.
Yeah, I think there would have been a lot of that. I think there would have been also a lot of public outcry to Jerry Reinsdorf. Like, Jerry, come on, you're the owner. Can't you step in? Can't you intervene and keep this unit together? I mean, why does Phil have to leave? Why, before the season even started, which led to a championship, are you saying that this is his last year? No ifs, ands, or buts about it, and we're going to bring in Tim Floyd? I mean, no disrespect to Tim Floyd, but Tim Floyd? There's a reason why we haven't won a championship for the Chicago Bulls since 1998. Like, it's no secret. I mean, you get rid of possibly one of the best coaches in the history of any professional organized sport ever. I mean, everything that comes after that is going to be, second fiddle. So, it was tough to watch those guys go and to watch that get broken up. And I think if we were in social media's age, I think there would be a lot more public outcry. And I think a lot more people would. I think there'd be a lot of angry servers that would go on Twitter. Like, I just had Scottie Pippen at my table and he left me $0 on a $75 bill because it's a thing of legend.
Well, now we know.
No tipping Pippen.
Hey, now we know why, because he had that terrible contract.
That's what it was. So anyone who ever waited on Scottie Pippen who didn't get an adequate tip, there's a reason why. He's going to come back. He's going to come back around. He's going to get you in 2021.
the next time. All right. Hey, well, speaking of the next time, Colt, we gotta go. We gotta let you go. Appreciate you jumping on with us. And maybe when we reconvene here, we'll have to talk about what the Bears did this weekend during the NFL draft to make them a Super Bowl winner. Let's hope. We'll talk about
Jalen
that.
Hurts. He should be on the board second round.
You've been saying that. I'm
just saying. I'm just saying.
All right.
Thanks for having
Cole
me.
Wright,
Glad to have you on
Marquee
Cubs
Sports
360
Network
sometime
joining
soon.
us. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know. All right. See you, Cole.
There you go.
When we come back on the stadium, Javier Baez and the Sim Cubs are virtually back on track. We will show you the highlights next here on the stadium.
It's a familiar story. Allergies ruining your sleep and next day too. Taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec at nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
No. This ain't no sandwich. Because on a sandwich, they ask you if you want cheese. But on a papadilla, cheese is what's holding the whole operation together. Get one now for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
I'd kind of given up hope. I wasn't going to spend $12,000 on hair plugs. But I tried this, and it was great, and I've never looked back.
I brush my teeth in the morning. I had braces when I was a child. We take care of other parts of our body. You can take care of your hairline. It's okay.
I mean, I'm just grateful that the products work so well, that they're so convenient, and that I don't have to stress out about losing my hair anymore.
Don't wait until you lose more hair. Go to forhims.com right now.
There has never been a better time to have a favorite food. With new Grubhub Plus, you get unlimited free delivery and cashback rewards for ordering noodles. And noodles. And noodles. And noodles. Grubhub Plus, free delivery, cashback, and noodles.
Hey Chicago, it's Joe Madden for Catholic Charities. Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, Catholic Charities of Chicago continues to serve the poor, the elderly, and those with no one to turn to. Our community needs will only grow in the coming months, but so will the resolve and generosity of countless individuals across our region. With your help, Catholic Charities will be there with food, financial assistance, and other supports. Please visit CatholicCharities.net today and donate what you can. That's CatholicCharities.net. I donated, and so can you.
Oh, time to check in on the simulated Cubs going for their second straight win as they continue the series with the Padres at Wrigley. 2-2, bottom of the third. Javi Baez, two-run bomb off Joey Lucchesi, his fourth homer of the year, and the Cubs take a 4-2 lead. We move ahead to the ninth. Cubs up a run. Down to their last strike. The Padres could not come back as Craig Kimbrell gets Greg Garcia to end the game. Kimbrell completes the 4-out save. Cubs hang on to beat the Pods 5-4. Marquee Sports Network and MLB The Show 20 are bringing the virtual America's pastime to you in our time of need. Join the watch party over on Facebook every game day at 1 p.m. And don't forget, you can always catch the stadium at 6:30 p.m. right here on Marquee Sports Network Monday through Friday. That does it for today's show. We will see you again tomorrow.
We got one of those new purple mattresses, and it is amazing. You have to try it.
Oh, this doesn't feel like memory foam.
No.
This feels amazing.
Right?
What is it?
Actually, it's called Purple, and it's a completely unique comfort technology, meticulously designed to cradle and support the human body.
Cool.
Spring into big savings with Purple's spring sale. Visit purple.com/TV today.
And Doug.
Give me your hand! I can save you! Lots of money with Liberty Mutual. We customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
I had a husband who was my vision, but when he died, I knew I was in big trouble.
At care.com, search for lots of local caregivers who can help with meals, housekeeping, personal care, and more. It costs less than you think, and it's easy to pay. Care.com.
Without Bernie's, majority of these students probably would not have any books at home.
The more that they're able to read and write and communicate with others, the more successful they're going to be getting a job, going to college, all those things we want for them in the future.
Having a book in your hand and, reading it and exploring is virtually impossible without Bernie's books.
Welcome to Play at Home Trivia presented by Miller Lite. I'm your host, Chris Myers, and we're all at home hanging in there from our home to yours. We're going to have a little fun with some Cubs and Chicago-centric sports trivia. Two contestants competing with ultimately a winner at the end, and you along at home could be our audience and try to guess the answers before we can. And let's welcome in our two contestants. First, say hi to Dan Plesac, analyst for the MLB Network, Marquee Sports Network, grew up in Indiana, 18 major league seasons, 3 all-star teams. He's the ace. And let's say hi to Dan. How are you, Dan?
Chris, good. I heard you talking briefly about a 9-inning game. Just to warn you, the boat's left the dock. I'm probably good for an inning and 2/3. If you're going to try to get 9 innings out of me, you've called the wrong guy.
All right, well, whatever you can give us. We have people in the bullpen, but it won't be physically taxing. It'll be mentally taxing, which could be an issue for all of us. Your opponent is Carlos Pena. You heard him chuckling. Also, Marquee Sports Network, MLB Network, played 14 major league seasons, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, All-Star selection. Carlos, nice to have you with us, and welcome to Play at Home here, Marquee Sports Network.
Dan, what are you talking about, man? I was hoping that maybe I could tire you out and maybe get you in the late innings, I mean, that was my strategy all along.
Carlos, there isn't much heat on that fastball anymore, so if I were you, I would go up there swinging early.
Well,
I will.
Case we he'll take his cuts. He's always shown that. In case we have any factual concerns, our fact-checker research guru, Chris Antonacci, is with us. We call him Notch. He'll be observing closely to help us out throughout the course of the game. All right, so the format is real simple, you guys. We play, it's like a 9-inning game. Each contestant, same number of questions. First 6 innings, multiple choice. 7th and 8th inning, you'll have a chance to steal some runs, and then you're also on the clock. You'll actually have a choice, and there's great drama. It's never over until the 9th inning, and our walk-off question, you'll have a chance to make up ground. So if everybody's ready, time for Play-at-Home Trivia, presented by Miller Lite. And by the way, Dan, you did face in your career pitching Tony Pena, Willie Mo Pena, Geronimo Pena. You never faced Carlos Pena. So this is the first time this pitcher-hitter matchup. We could have history here.
We could have history,
So
and there isn't much life left on that fastball. So, Carlos, you don't have to worry about getting that front foot down. Just be ready. Pull the trigger.
I thought you did well against all my questions.
All right, worth one run if you get it correct. Dan, you're first. Which team did Kerry Wood strike out a record-tying 20 times back in 1998? Multiple choice here. A, is it the Milwaukee Brewers? B, the Pittsburgh Pirates? C, the Philadelphia Phillies? Or D, the Houston Astros?
Chris, I'm proud to let you know that I repeated the 6th grade 4 times, and I don't need much of an education. The Houston Astros, because I watched that game. It was a day game. Houston Astros.
Very good. You know, that lineup it had 2 Hall of Famers in it. Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell, and even Moises Alou, 6-time All-Star, former Cub. So that is correct. So you're on the board. An early 1-0 lead. So, Carlos, here's your chance to answer here. Which Astros player did Kerry Wood strike out for lucky number 20? Was it A, Craig Biggio, B, Derek Bell, C, Jeff Bagwell, D, Jim DeShays?
Chris, this right here was absolutely hilarious because he missed this pitch like by maybe 2 feet. And when you watch it, I'm like, is this a wiffle ball game? Because that's exactly what it looked like. It was Derek Bell. I mean, it was hilarious how far. Goodness.
That was great. And he was a 300 hitter that season. So you guys are doing great so far. It's a 1-1 game. We go back to Dan. Record setters is the category here in the 2nd inning. Which former Cub holds the major league record for most runs batted in a season with 191? A, Hack Wilson, B, Aramis Ramirez, C, Andre Dawson, or D, Chris Bryant?
The only reason I know this answer, Chris, my first year when I played for the Cubs in 1993, walking down the hallway from the locker room, getting down are a bunch of pictures of old players. And I remember this because I thought, man, 191 RBIs, Hack Wilson.
That's correct. Absolutely. You know, they didn't start keeping that as a statistic, RBIs in Major League Baseball, until 1920. Obviously, in 29-30, he had a terrific season. All right, so 2-1 lead. Carlos, to you, which former Cub holds the record for most Gold Gloves in a career? It's 18. Is it A, Mark Grace, in a career now, B, Sean Dunston, C, Greg Maddux, or D, Ryne Sandberg?
You know, I would have easily gone for Mark Grace because he's one of my favorite players in the history of the Cubs, all right, first baseman. But, I mean, Greg Maddux. Come on, this guy, nothing got by him. He's the answer, Greg Maddux.
That is correct. Yes, and a great pitcher. Six of his 18 Gold Gloves came as a Cub. If they gave a Gold Glove for talking, Mark Grace would have cleaned up with everybody on it. All right, so we have, and I'm sure he's watching. It's a 2-2 game. Let's go to the 3rd inning. We're going to shift a little bit. If you're in Chicago for anything you do know about the Bears, NFL season, off season here. Which active NFL tight end was drafted in the 1st round by the Bears? Active tight end: A, Greg Olson, B, Tony Gonzalez, C, Trey Burton, or D, Mitchell Trubisky?
Well, I feel this is a little unfortunate for Carlos because I grew up in the Chicago area, and I've been a Bears fan, and I know that it's Greg Olson. That was the one that right off the get-go, I knew that answer.
All right, well, absolutely correct. Selected 31st. Of course, the Panthers currently he's going to play with the Seahawks coming up this year. All right, so Carlos, a 3-2 game here. The Chicago Bears' 1st-round pick in 2013 and 14, the top draft picks, had the same first name. What was that first name? Was it A, Kevin, God. B, Mitchell, C, Leonard, or D, Kyle?
Kyle? I mean...
Yes! Wow! Is that your best? Hey, Dan, I think he was just up there hacking. He was swinging. He didn't.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
Yeah. I guess, and I connected.
Well, you certainly did. It hit it out of the park. Kyle Long drafted 2013, and then Kyle Fuller in 2014. Wow! All right, you guys are doing all right. So it's a 3-3. I got the homemade scoreboard here just in case. The old time scoreboard. It's a 3-3 game. So we've gone through 3 innings. Coming up, the questions get a little tougher. They're going to be worth 2 runs. We're just getting cranked up with Dan Plesac, Carlos Pena. I'm your host, Chris Myers. Play at home, Marquee Sports Network. We'll continue in a moment. Taylor McGregor, let's say hi to her. She has a special question for those of you playing along at home.
Thank you, Chris. It's now time for all of the fans at home to get a Gold Glove question of their own. So we want to know, last season, who was the lone Chicago Cub to win a Gold Glove? Go to www.marqueesportsnetwork.com WGN.com for the answer.
Let's pray.
As we all hunker down in these tough times, grass keeps growing, livestock still needs to be fed, and there's plenty of hauling to do. Mahindra is here to help. Visit whymahindra.com from the safety of your home and build your own tractor. Your Mahindra dealer will give you a quote and deliver it to your land. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough. Get no payments for 90 days and 0 down, 0% financing during Mahindra's spring sale.
As the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus?
People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room, you don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician.
We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Let Marquee Sports Network deliver fresh baseball news and analysis to you with Cubs 360 Daily. Though baseball may be on pause, we're pulling together the most knowledgeable voices coming to you daily from their home to yours.
I think all baseball fans, all of us, appreciate the fact that they're working very hard to try to make this happen.
Cubs 360 Daily, fresh each weeknight at 6 on Marquee Sports Network. Proudly presented by Miller Lite.
Hope you're enjoying Play at Home Trivia, presented by Miller Lite. Glad to have you watching Marquee Sports Network as we continue through 3 innings. It's a tie game. And by the way, our old scoreboard, just to make sure, and we'll be updating this throughout, Carlos Pena, Dan Plesac in a 3-3 game. And right now, as we say hi to both of you once again, the category, these are going to be worth 2 runs each. So far, you guys are batting 1,000. The category, it's a kind of pop culture, feature film moments, feature fan film moments from Wrigley Field here in a tie game. Dan, which one of these Chicago-based films does not have a memorable catch from a fan or interaction at Wrigley Field? A, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, B, The Breakup, C, High Fidelity, or D, Rookie of the Year?
Wow. You're getting into a bad genre for me, Chris. Once you get out of 1980s to 1990s Major League Baseball, you're looking at it. I would say, oh my gosh.
I can repeat it. So it's Ferris Bueller's Day. Here you go. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakup, High Fidelity, Rookie of the Year. It did not have a fan catch or interaction at Wrigley Field. That's kind of the key.
I know this is probably, I'm just going with the lead in, Rookie of the Year, but I'm going to go Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Your first miss of the night was High Fidelity. Yeah. Remember, longtime Cubs fan John Cusack star in that. It does not feature a memorable moment filmed inside Wrigley Field, although that's Chicago thing. Your first miss of the day. So, Carlos, this is your chance to take the lead here in the 4th inning. Remember, these are worth 2 runs. That's why they're a little tougher. So, Carlos, in which movie does Cub fan and actor Jim Belushi make an amazing catch on a Mark Grace home run in a World Series? Is it A, Blues Brothers, B, Taking Care of Business, C, A League of Their Own, or D, Curly Sue?
Dan,
you guys are struggling.
I'm struggling. No,
wow.
I'm struggling too. Yeah, this is not a good. I have to say the Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers. Awesome.
No, that's incorrect. It was a great movie. But Taking Care of Business. This was 1990. Belushi plays a convict who escapes from prison to see the Cubs in a World Series. And that was make believe. Of course, in 2016 we had the real World Series for the Cubs, and then Belushi didn't go to prison.
We need to watch it, Chris. We need to watch it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that one. All right, 5th inning here, still worth 2 runs. Bill Murray, feature films. We know the great Cub fan. All right, here we go. Which of these, Dan, for you, which of these sports-based films does not star Bill Murray? A, Caddyshack, B, Space Jam, C, Slapshot, or D, Kingpin?
Does not.
Right.
I know he's into golf. Caddyshack, I know. That's a no. I'm going to go Kingpin.
That is incorrect. It was Slapshot. Remember, in Kingpin, he's got the bad hair as a bowler.
Yeah,
right? But
that's
Slapshot,
the hockey.
Right, with Paul Newman was in that in 1977.
Yes.
All right, so we're still tied. You guys are all baseball.
Oh yeah,
here we go.
I'm telling you, I have 5 outs in me. 5 outs. You're stretching me too far right now.
But you're still in the game because Carlos hasn't been able to take advantage. So here we go, Carlos. In what iconic movie? Remember, these are worth 2. Does legendary Cubs fan Bill Murray play the character Carl Spackler? Is it A, Groundhog Day, B, Ghostbusters, C, Lost in Translation, or D, Caddyshack?
You know what's funny? I love all 4 of those movies, and I do not know the characters, the main character's name at all. But I would have to guess Groundhog Day?
No, that's incorrect. And by the way, that's what this show right now feels like, Groundhog Day. We're just repeating. But the answer, Dan, you probably knew. It was D, Caddyshack, right? Carl Spackler, that's the 1980s film where he plays the groundskeeper that chases the groundhog. So, all right, we're still tied.
You're a big hitter, Dalama.
How about...
We're going to move along here. Home run chase cameos. Here we go. Tie game. In what 2001 baseball film does Sammy Sosa play himself? A, Rookie of the Year, B, Hardball, C, Major League, or D, Angel in the Outfield?
Angel in the Outfield.
And that is incorrect. The answer is B, Hardball. Remember, in 2000, that was the one with Keanu Reeves in 2001. He's the coach of the Cabrini Green Housing Project, Little League team in Chicago. And
I'm going to tell you what right now. Siskel and Ebert would be very disappointed in me right now. That's all I can tell you.
Well, it's a little baseball. It's a little pop culture. All right, so
Sammy,
Carlos, we're still tied.
Sammy is disappointed. Sammy is.
Yeah, right. A guy hits 3 seasons of 60 homers or more, and you can't remember the movie he's in. So here we go. Carlos, you can take the lead on this in a 3-3 game worth 2 runs. In what beloved TV show does Mark McGwire portray himself with the phrase, "Do you want to see me sock a few dingers"? A, Family Matters, B, Full House, C, The Simpsons, or D, Married with Children? McGwire.
Number 1, that is a hilarious line, by the way. And it has to be Married with Children. I used to watch that show, Married with Children.
No, that's incorrect. It was The Simpsons.
Oh,
sorry,
my God.
He voices himself. The 70 homer guy, Mark McGwire. All right, so we've wrapped up 6 innings where the questions got tougher. You guys couldn't score, but that's okay because we still have a competitive game. So when we continue with Dan Plesac and Carlos Pena, time to get away from multiple choice, and we're going to have a chance. You'll each have a chance to pick up more runs. You can steal from the other guy, and then you'll also be on the clock before our walk-off question. Stay tuned. Play at Home Trivia continues on Marquee Sports Network.
I grew up in Gary, worked in the steel mills, on the railroad, and the building trades, alongside other men and women who worked hard every single day. So when I became a lawyer, I made a commitment to build a firm that worked as hard as the people we represent, to win justice for those who've been injured or killed through negligence, to make our roads and work sites safer, preventing needless accidents from happening again. It's hard work, but it's also why year after year we're named among the best lawyers in America.
Not sure your washer is up to the task? At App, you'll find service and selection you can count on, like Maytag washers with the extra power button that boosts stain fighting on any wash cycle. Bring home powerful cleaning with a Maytag laundry pair. With free in-home delivery and professional installation, it all adds up to complete satisfaction. App, pleasing people since 1936.
Play at Home Trivia, presented by Miller Lite on Marquee Sports Network. We got a good one. It's 3-3 as we go to the 7th inning. The multiple choice answers are over. It gets a little bit tougher as we check the old-time scoreboard with Dan and Carlos, and you can see they got out to a fast start. The middle inning's a little bit of trouble. So next, here's what we're going to do, you guys. The final 3 innings of the game. In the 7th here, it's just generic-style sports trivia question, no multiple choice option. But if you miss the answer, your opponent has the opportunity to steal the 2 runs for themselves, and then they could get their own question. But what we make fun about this, Dan and Carlos, is it's a question about yourself, your own major league career, because you guys both played for a long time and really put your heart and soul into it. So it's a 3-3 game. Dan, this is worth 2 runs here to start the 7th inning, break the tie. What former Cubs player did you face the most in your major league career? Former Cub you faced the most.
Kind of a trick question, but Chris, I think I know who this is. I'm going to say Fred McGriff. Faced him early on in Toronto. And I got a great story about the crime dog. He hit 2 home runs off me. One was in Wrigley when he was playing for the Atlanta Braves. Wind was blowing in. I'm not kidding you. 25 miles an hour from left field. He hit a screaming line drive over the basket into the stands. And it was my first glimpse of a ball being thrown back on the field, Chris. So I give it the bomb. I'm disappointed. My head's down. I hear the crowd roaring, and I see a ball come flying back in. Went over Sean Dunstan's head. It rolled to the mound. I picked it up. They kept the real ball, and they threw back a rubber-coated ball.
That's great. And you got it right. So you faced him 39 times, and the next guy on the list was Wally Joyner. So it was 8 more times you faced McGriff. So that what's important, though, Dan, in this head-to-head competition here, you have a 5-3 lead. So now, Carlos, a question about your career to get the tie here worth a couple of runs. So what pitcher did you homer off the most in your career? What do you think, Carlos? Do you know this one?
Okay.
Look, he's sweating, Dan. You got him sweating after that 2-run.
Yeah. I got my water, my towel. Look, it has to be either Pettit or Lester. I'll go with Lester.
That's correct. Wow, very good. And Pettit.
Boom. Hey,
Pettit was second on the list.
This is the thing, though. Exactly, Dan. Like I don't know. I bear down against these like tough lefties. I mean, Lester, Pettit, these guys are studs, right? I should have maybe taken fringe pitchers or number 3, number 4, number 5 starters a little bit more seriously. I really should have. Maybe if I played against Hall of Famers all the time, I would have been a Hall of Famer myself.
You know what? Hey, Dan, tell Carlos he doesn't get extra credit for modesty. Okay, that just doesn't.
No, you don't. No. Right now we're all tied up heading into the 8th inning. Now it's getting into my territory, Chris. I'm finally getting warmed up.
He's got that rubber arm. All right, so the 8th inning, this is a list category, and Carlos, since we're tied and Dan went first to start the game, you'll get the choice. You'll be on the clock here in 30 seconds. Here's the category, though. It's not multiple choice. You're going to have to name for each one you name right. You'll pick up a run. So the categories are Cubs individual home run season or Cubs save leaders. So which one of those categories do you want to take? And whatever one you take, then we'll have Dan gets the other one. What do you think? Saves leaders for Cubs or individual home run seasons for the Cubs?
I'm going to go with the placatas, man, the home run.
Just the official question. There have been 9 different Cub players, 9 to hit at least 40 home runs in a season. Name as many as you can and go.
I'm going to have to go with Andre Dawson, George Bell, Ernie Banks, Ron Santo, Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez, Alfonso Soriano,
10 seconds.
Hack Wilson, Ron
5
Santo,
seconds.
Billy Williams, Moses Alou.
Time is up. Time is up. Hold on. All right.
That was a mess. I think I did. I don't know. What you got?
You did okay. We counted 6 correct. Notch, is that what we have? 6 correct?
Glenn and Hill.
5. He didn't mention Sammy Sosa.
5? What?
Yeah, he didn't mention
How
Sosa.
in the world did I forget Sammy Sosa? That was the number 1 guy.
He is.
Hey, I did mention him in my mind. You didn't hear it?
We didn't. That's okay. That when you're under pressure, Dan, that's how they hit her. But this is not a mental telepathy game. So here we go. So Dan, you're going to have a category, and you'll be on the clock here. And for everyone that you get correct, it'll be worth a run. And I'll start it when I finish the question and say go. There are 10 different pitchers to record at least 40 saves in a Cubs uniform since 1969. So at least 40 saves, Cubs uniform since 69 when saves became an official stat. So ready, set, and go, Dan.
I know one of them was Randy Myers in 93 because I played with him in 93. Randy Myers. Another guy, the shooter, Rod Beck. Lee Smith. Bruce Sutter.
10 seconds.
Carlos Marmo.
Time's up. There we go. Okay. Time is up. Oh,
Wade Davis. I had Wade Davis right up in the tip of my mouth.
No, that there was Mitch Williams, Kevin Gregg, right? We had Hector Rondon, Ryan Dempster, who's on Marquee. So how many did he get there?
Yeah.
The easiest ones right in front of you, you miss. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, like Lee Smith and Sammy Sosa, right? You think the first, it's just, that's what's fun about it. All right, so we're tied at 10. We've officially made sure of that. Coming up, here's your walk-off topic here. This is the drama in a tie game. This is like a game at Wrigley. Here's the topic. Think about this. The only Cubs player, and I'll set up the rule on this because going into this here, the category, you're going to have, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to have to wager your amount of runs that you have put on the answer. But the topic, I'm going to at least give you that. Only one Cubs player was accomplishing this historic feat. So that's the topic. How confident are you with this? Once again, only player to do something historic in a Cubs uniform. Get your wager in. We'll reveal the question, then your answer, and we'll ultimately get a winner in this competitive battle when Play at Home Trivia with Dan Plesac, Carlos Pena, presented by Miller Lite, continues on Marquee Sports Network.
Well, this is overwhelming. Where to start? Listen to celebrity decorators with their $1 million budgets and enormous staff? That's realistic. Or just step into a store. Oh, no. There's a better way. You've skimmed catalogs. You've browsed through blogs. You know what you like when you see it. Artful contemporary, Scandinavian minimalism, organic modern. You know what you want. Overstock's where you find it. Now let's get to work. A sofa, a floor lamp, an area rug. Never forget the area rug. Everything you need with free shipping every day. Easy, right? Getting it done with Overstock, where quality costs less.
Welcome back to Play at Home Trivia presented by Miller Lite. We've reached the ninth inning in a tie game in our walk-off question between Dan Plesac, Carlos Pena. It is a 10-10 game. It's that close, but this will decide it. And before the break, I asked you guys the topic of our walk-off question relating to the only Cubs player to accomplish a historic feat. You were both responsible for writing down how many runs you were willing to wager on the topic. So let's take a look first at your wagers. And then I'll ask you the question, Dan, and what did you wager on this? So it looks like, all right, three runs in a tie game. And Carlos, you wagered, that's how confident they are. Nobody, let's see, it's 2 runs. Why 2? Real quick.
Well, let me tell you, when Dan goes out there in the golf course and he has a chance to go for the green instead of just laying up on the par 5s, it doesn't matter if there's water, a lake, a house on fire. He goes for the green, and I appreciate that about him. So
I'm all in.
All right.
That he was going to go higher. Yeah, he's all in.
All right. 10-10 game. Named a switch-hitting Cub who became the only National League player to homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning. It was back in 2002. It's only been done 3 times historically, but only one Cub named the switch-hitting Cub who became the only National League player to homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning, 2002. And gentlemen, if you have your answers, Carlos, we'll go, since you went with 2, if you get it correct, you take the 12-10 lead. So what do you got? You hold up your sign for me or tell me the answer.
This is dark. This is crazy. I don't even know if he was part of the ball club at that time, but look at that.
No, that's a good guess, but it's incorrect. All right. How about that? He went out. All right, so Dan, so hold on. Let's see. You're down to 8 runs
Chris,
now. Let's see what Dan's going to come up with.
I feel really good about it. Was he a catcher?
If you miss, you lose.
Was he a catcher? I went with Todd Hundley.
Incorrect. Mark Bell at Miller Park.
Oh!
Yes! Wow!
And I was already to sport my cup hat. I was ready.
I told you he was going to go for the green.
Yes, he in a 10-10 tie, you gave up 3 runs. Carlos gives up 2 runs, so he hangs on for the 1-run victory. Bellhorn went deep, right side of the plate off Andrew Lorraine, and then with 2 out, he hit one from the left side off Jose Cabrera. That was back in 2002, August. Mark Bellhorn for the Cubs against the Brewers at Miller Park. Wow. All right, well, congratulations. Dan, I thought you were able to. Dan's arm got tired at the end. Carlos delivered, and he is.
I know what you're
Dan,
thinking, Chris. There goes Danny. Blew another
You were
save.
strong.
Well, I do want to say, Carlos, and it was all about the wager at the end, knowing your game, Carlos, during these unprecedented times.
Knowing my
Marquee
opponent.
Sports Network, yes, and its partners sure to impact local communities. For this episode, on behalf of you guys, Marquee Sports Network, Miller Lite, donating $500 to the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation to help their donations of meals, masks, and sanitizers to local hospitals and cancer families across Illinois. Each episode, we have a different local charity that will receive a donation. All right, great fun. Carlos, your parting words? Dan? Carlos?
Hey, Dan.
Chris,
Dan,
you left me in there for
Dan.
one too many hitters.
Dan, 7 iron, I laid up. You did exactly what I thought you were going to do. You went for the green and bloop, in the water, brother.
Yeah. Chris, I'm sorry. You're too old school, man. You got to start using the metrics. You left me in for one too many hitters, and you paid the price. Guess what? You just got fired.
Just my one game as manager. If I had Seaver, I might have had a shot. All right, thanks for playing along, and for you too, Miller Lite, Marquee Sports Network. For Carlos and Dan, I'm Chris Mars. Smart home to yours. We'll see you next time on Play at Home Trivia right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster. I am your host. We appreciate you tuning in to our talk show style format as we sit down with the stars, celebrities, scrubs of today's game. We appreciate the